So, hello everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I'm sitting here with the recovering Democrat, Donovan Saadiq, and it is the Demetra K Show, the podcast. So, I want to say at the top of the show, we are not live. Okay, we are not live. On a repeat that we're not live. This is recorded. Of course, our live shows are on Sunday and Wednesday, where we do take audience participation. You are the third co-host. All right, and so today, we are going to talk about a couple of things. Some of the headlines that I've seen, and sorry if I'm buffering this freaking internet. Some of the headlines that I've seen trending today involve Black men. And I want to know what's going on here, like really what's going on, right? So we'll get into that. And those headlines include that of Bill Cosby, TJ Holmes, and now Nelly is in the news. We're also going to ask a question that some white guy, well, I won't say just some white guy, was a white guy on Twitter. He said about Black women. So we're going to examine that to see if there's some validity to it. And of course, we're going to play our game, tonight's conversation, date night edition. And these questions are pretty interesting, I would say. And so at of the Demetra K Show, we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. So with that being said, Donovan, what say you?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Demetra K podcast. We love to have you here again. We are not live, but we do read your comments later on after the show is over, and you guys get a chance to look at this great program. Great conversations going to coming up today. Happy holidays if you guys are into that. A lot of stuff that's happening today. Also is the runoff in Georgia in regards to Herschel Walker and Ralph Warnock. Should never have gone to a runoff, but it did. But we'll see how that turns out later on today. Either way it goes, we're going to get the same old, so it doesn't really matter. Do us a favor if you guys can, like, share, and subscribe, and even become a member. That way you can get notifications when Demetra posts videos and her little quick shot videos and keep you guys informed. And also, if you so be willing, we have a Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all kinds of paying applications that you can apply to help us keep the show going. We don't mind the type that rolls, but we prefer the type that folds. So let's get into this great conversation, and we'll see how it goes. And you guys give us your opinion down in the comment. And when you get into the comment, shout out where you're from so we can see around the nation how everybody thinks and what's going on. So I'm coming from California. Demetra's down there in Houston. So shout out where you're from.
Yeah, the West Side. Yeah. All right, for real though. Okay, so I just got through working out, so I'm kind of, still kind of hyped up a little bit. So forgive me. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with why we're here today. We're going to be talking about, and I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm buffering this. I'm telling you, I hate it here. So anyway, hopefully y'all can see that pretty clear. So we have three headlines that I saw trending in the news between yesterday and this morning. And I'm like, all right, what's going on here? So the first one, as you can see, is that of Bill Cosby. It says Bill Cosby accused of drugging/raping 5 women in new lawsuits. It was a new lawsuit. Of course, you know that Bill Cosby, I think it was 2018 or something like that, where he was accused by a whole host of women of doing the same things that they're saying here on the screen to them. Of course, he did get found guilty of some sort of, sexual misconduct with Andrea Constand. But then, of course, he got out not too long ago due to his constitutional rights being violated. And so now here's some more accusations. But he's had more accusations in between now and the last one when he went to trial. But this time, this is what they are saying about Bill Cosby. It says, Bill Cosby appears to be in more legal trouble as 5 women have now come forward accusing the actor of sexually assaulting them in a new lawsuit. And this is per TMZ, by the way. It says the court documents reveal that Bill allegedly took the accusers under his wing and mentored them as they tried to jumpstart a career in Hollywood back in 1980s and 90s. But instead of helping them reach their full potential, Bill is said to have had other plans in mind. Then it says the women, Sandra Ladd, Lily Bernard, she was listed Lily Bernard was actually listed the last time, but for whatever reason, she could not sue. Lily Bernard, Eden Turl, Jewel Gittins, and Jennifer Thompson all asserted that the 85-year-old, who was arguably one of the most powerful actors in showbiz at the time, made them false promises and allegedly ended up taking advantage by recruiting them to partake in forceful sexual activities. And it says Lily, and this is why you guys will know who she is, who appeared in an episode of The Cosby Show back in 1992, claims in the court documents that she was assaulted by Bill on a handful of occasions. During one particular incident, she says she was drugged by the Pennsylvania-born star before being raped. And when she woke up in the midst of an altercation, Bill allegedly stifled her with the use of a pillow. Now, Lily Bernard was in one of the episodes. Oh gosh, it was the Miss Minifer, I think her name was. She was pregnant. And she was visiting him at the his office and went on the Cosby Show. Now, she said that incident happened. He attacked her before she showed up on the show. So a lot of people are like, well, if he was doing these things to you, why did you come on the show? Right. So anyway, moving right along. And who do we have up there now? TJ Holmes. Of course, you guys know that. Let me go to my thing here. TJ Holmes. He is on, was it Good Morning America or something like that, with a white woman named Amy Robach. I think that's how you say her name. Well, they have been discovered to be in an affair. But if you see this headline here, it says serial cheater TJ Holmes had an affair with 3 women at ABC. So not only the one that he was caught with, but the 2 other ones. And it says this: Good Morning America 3 host TJ Holmes carried out at least 3 affairs with co-workers at ABC, including one with a previously unreported, unnamed staffer at the network, according to Page 6. The latest accusation comes after revelations that he carried out relationships with both his co-hosts, Amy Robach, and a producer named Natasha Singh. The outlet reported news of anchor Holmes' indiscretions come the same day ABC executives decided to bench both him and Robach for the show's 3rd hour indefinitely amid growing pushback, says network president Kim Goodwin. Even went so far as to call their relationship internal and external distraction on an editorial. So Kim, what's her name? Kim Goodwin. She's the black CEO, or I guess the president actually of ABC. So she decided to snatch them off of there. But with this one, I feel like this one, and I'll get into each one of them in just a second, but let's go to Nelly. All right, so you see Nelly. It says he is facing backlash after videos of him singing to young girls resurfaced. So it says, this is what it says, what he's saying to the young girls. Are you nervous? I'm nervous. Nelly tells the girl while holding her hand. He then directs the girl to stand face to face with him and tells her to hold his glasses. The St. Louis, Missouri rhymer then grabs strands of the girl's hair and sings his 2004 single over and over while just inches from the girl's face. Okay, as you can see there. So now, as I'm seeing these headlines, I'm like, what in the everlasting is going on here, right? So with Bill Cosby, did he do some things? I don't know. We weren't there. It's like in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, I guess. But it's like, they're never going to leave Bill Cosby alone. These women keep talking about he did stuff to him. And so they're going to keep trying to sue him, this, that, the other. Okay. I'm one of those people that just happen to believe that Bill Cosby is innocent of the things he was accused of. Now, I do believe he was having an affair on his wife, but I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't want to say 100%. Just sounds kind of fishy. All right. Now, TJ Holmes, a problem I have with this headlines is they're saying he's a serial cheater, right? Which he may be. But y'all notice how they removed that white woman from the headlines? Because before, when it was cute and it was funny and they was, well, we ain't married. And I'm not even trying to get into it for a gossipy thing. Because, they were saying that they had each left their respective partners and this, that, and the other. And it was kind of funny, right? But now that it's gotten a lot of backlash, they're leaving TJ to hold the bag. Like I said, where's the white woman? Now they want to say he's a serial cheater. But ain't she accused of cheating on her husband too? Well, so why is this white woman absolved of holding the bag with TJ? All right. And again, I'm not, caping for him or any of that kind of stuff. Now, Nelly facing a backlash, and they're saying the girls were underage. And I want to ask this, and I'm not absolving Nelly of anything or whatever because I wasn't there, but I have questions. Why are you allowing your young girls, if they're underage, to go to these concerts? Why are these things being allowed? Now, I'm not sure if this happened recently, although I think it did because I know him and Ashanti was in concert somewhere. So I don't know if it happened then. I'm not sure. So please forgive me. But it says that it's resurfaced. And so it's like, why are your young girls at this concert? Where's the mom and daddy? Were they there? Y'all didn't let your kids go up on the stage, and y'all didn't think to say, "Hey, Nelly, whoa, Nelly." I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on here? So why are we seeing these headlines with these black men being sprawled across the internet or wherever? Now, of course, we know white men do stuff. They do stuff all the time, but it seems like there's an extra effort to do it to black men. So Donovan, what's going on here?
Woo, I was taking some notes there. You brought up a whole can of worms. Now, in regards to, and you guys hit that like button so we can get the likes up here before we have to stop the show. No, in regards to Bill Cosby, I was kind of perplexed at why they keep bringing up these lawsuits over and over again. And my research showed that in New York, and I'm very sure this is where these women are doing that, there was a recent law that threw out the statute of limitations to where sexual assault survivors could refile. So if you guys heard of that case with Donald Trump where the lady had got to get the chance to refile and stuff like that, I think they have like a year or something, but basically there was no statute of limitations of how far it goes back. So if you were assaulted in the 1930s and that person is still alive today, you can sue under this new law, whatever. And I think that's where they're trying to do it. And because, and this is just Donovan speaking, it's not Demetra. These ladies are going after the bag. It's obvious that they're going to try to get something because Bill Cosby is in his 80s right now. The guy's practically blind. And I'm a firm believer that he's a person of his time. Everybody in the entertainment, not everybody, but you know what I mean? The entertainment industry and the casting couch was no secret in the entertainment industry back in the day. So, but when it's a black man doing it, obviously there seems to be a problem. White supremacy again. But that is I believe the statute that they're probably suing him under New York law, because Bill Cosby is in entertainment, even though he's a Pennsylvania resident. Of course, they're going to allege the incident happened in New York or whatever, and they can sue there, I guess, whatever's going on with that. So, I just think it's just a way to make him settle and they can get some money out of it. I mean, what other point would there be to keep continually going after a man that is, up there in age, that has a lot of money? Hey, let me get what I got to get and run this guy into the ground until he says, I give, As far as TJ Holmes, I'm glad you brought that up. And it's so sad. And I know ladies are going to get mad at me when I say this, because a lot of you guys usually do. And I'm going to say this to Demetra K. And Demetra, I want you to put on your thinking cap. And I want you to remember where you heard this from before. Now, TJ, Demetra, I need you to stop. I need you to stop. A woman's name should not be dragged up in these lawsuits and how these things are going. How many people remember something of that, paraphrasing, something of that happened? Malika Andrews, Stephen A. Smith type thing. Not saying Stephen A. Smith and even me, I'm not saying that these things did not happen, whatever, but the point of the matter is these are two consenting adults. So if you're going to drag his name into the press and drag him, where's the woman? I guarantee you, if this was a black woman, her name would be in the press. I guarantee you it would be in the press, but because it's a white woman, we got to protect her at all costs, our heavenly white, flowered, innocent, woman of our race. We've got to, always protect her. But, where's the fairness here? So I'm not saying these things didn't happen because obviously it did. but these are two consenting adults. There's no law being broken here. There's no law being broken. And we don't know if these are swinging partners. We don't know anything about it. There's no minors here, anything like that. So I don't get what the big deal is. But let's be clear. Like Malika Andrews said, we should not bring it. This is why you can't believe all women and what goes on. I'm not saying in a lot of cases, women are getting the shaft in a lot of cases when it comes to sexual assault. But there are some cases where the women are just as responsible for the situation as the man. And this is another case where a woman who got into a consensual relationship with a man, but yet he's paying the price. And then as far as Nelly goes, it seems to me that they keep trying to keep in the mind of the public of the R. Kelly framing. This seems like a R. Kelly framing because, like you said, if the parents are there and they don't have a problem.
Not to cut you off, I've seen people say R. Nelly now.
Yeah, R. Nelly. Okay. I didn't mean to laugh, but yeah, that's pretty good. But, you know, they're trying to do this R. Kelly framing type thing. But like you said, if the parents are there, number one, why are these underage kids allowed to come in there? But if the parents are bringing them, because to me, it's like when you see a parent that has, like I was at a basketball game, high school basketball game last night, and I saw this little freshman girl that had a tattoo on her arm. And I was like, isn't that child abuse? How is that? You got to be 18 to have it. But if the parents say it's okay, it's okay. So why is it always an outrage when Black men are out there plying their craft of music or whatever it is, but nobody talks about Elvis Presley. Nobody talks about Jerry Lee Lewis. Nobody talks about all of these white artists that are doing pretty much the exact same thing. And if this young girl, as in the R. Kelly case, and the parents are there, shouldn't some of the blame also go to the parents who are allowing their children to be at the concert? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. But just I think this is just more evidence of how Black men, and listen, I'm not saying some of that is not problematic, so I don't want people to think, you know, I'm absolving anybody, because true indeed we weren't there, so we don't know truly what happened with any of that. But I saw these headlines and I'm like, at some point in time, we're gonna wake up. You know, because they don't do their men like that. They, the ones that owns, you know, the media, they don't do their people like that as much as they do Black men. You know, just run them through the mud. And so the one that really stuck out to me the most, now the Nelly one is problematic to me because I feel like it's problematic on both sides. For one, where are your people? And who letting these girls on the stage? Like where, because I tell you, I'm in public relations, right? And so public relations is about damage control and, you know, foreseeability and preserving the brand. It's about all of that. Nelly's a brand. And so I don't know how those girls got on the stage. Just somebody pick them out and send them up there. You know, what's going on with that? But let's say somebody did pick them out and put them up there. They didn't think to say, how old are you? You know what I mean? You look kind of young. Go back and enjoy the concert from there. I need a grown woman to come up. You know what I'm saying? A grown woman like me. We need a grown woman to come up there and he can do all that too. That's what I would have done if I was his people. Now, the other thing, okay, so his people are they missing the mark. They get up there, I think, and this is where I always talk about what is it going to cost me? Even in a split second, you have to ask yourself that. I think Nelly should have said, you know, my boo, or whatever he was singing, and he should have said, cut the music. How old are you? Oh, I'm 15. Go back and enjoy the concert from the from the state, you know, from the audience. So there's too many checks and balances not being caught for that to happen. Now, if you ask me, now I don't know Nelly. My brother knows Nelly. I don't know him. Now I know that he has some songs that are problematic. I remember when he was trying to do a fundraiser for his sister at Spelman. The ladies there at Spelman said because his sister was dying, she needed a bone marrow transplant or something, and he wanted to have a bone marrow drive there. And the ladies at Spelman told him no, because we don't like the song Tip Drill, and they ran him off. And so I know some of his songs are problematic, but I just too many things. There's too many avenues to have. Oh, I know what I was saying because I lost track. I sometimes do that. I don't think he is that way. He doesn't strike me as a person. Then my thing is, this is why I think we got to be logical, right? Now, there's some people who are in plain sight with their stuff, but it's like we've seen R. Kelly go to jail for 500 years, and they still waiting to send him for 500 more. Does Nelly, I mean, do you think he's stupid enough to say, okay, these girls are obviously underage, let me sing some salacious stuff to him? I just don't think he would be that stupid. So I want to just say, maybe he didn't know they were young, or are they truly underage? Maybe they're 18. I don't know. Like, there's a lot going on there, but I think, yeah, he needs some better people on his team. Now, the TJ Holmes thing is like, when I saw that headlines, I was mad. I'm not capable for TJ Holmes. I think he should get what he's got coming to him. However, I think that white woman should get it too. Don't take her ass up off the headline. Leave her on there too. Oh, now all of a sudden he a serial cheater. But it's like, nah, y'all quick to absolve your flat behind white woman because she didn't have flat behind. I look at the picture. I was like, what is you grabbing, sir?
It rounds when they're, never mind. Go ahead.
It was like, anyway, that's what he like. He like an ironing board. That's his business. So, but all of a sudden she's completely absolved. And then now they watch. They're going to try to flip it around. Watch. They're going to flip it around that, oh, she's a victim. Oh, she was just, they're going to put her in the victimhood mode because now all these other women to come back, well, he had an affair with me too. It's like, oh, you didn't have a problem with it when he was having an affair with you? You didn't have a problem there, but now there's some clout to come from it. They're going to try to drudge up me too. Now all of a sudden you was cheating with him. It was like, nah, sis, go on and do what you do. But that's what they do, though. They try to move the white women in the back to make them look, oh, I'm the victim. This Negro did something to me.
Now let me ask you this.
Sure.
What is your parallel with the Stephen A. and Malika Andrews thing? Because it seems to me she has some kind of agenda against Black men, because the issue was not that it didn't happen. A lot of the guys, Perkins and all the people that in the sports media were saying, hey, the woman is also culpable in this consensual relationship. What's your opinion on that?
Well, so what it was because I actually happened to be listening to it when it was going down in real time. Of course, you guys know that came from the Nduka, what's his name? Nduka, M.A., whatever the hell his name, M.A. Nduka, with Nia Long. Nia Long's fiance, whoever he is to her, when he got caught cheating within the organization. The lady, Malika Andrews, Stephen was advocating that, and a couple of people were. We should know who his accusers are, or who he was not accuser, but who he's in a relationship with, because they threw M.A. out there like he's, having an affair on Nia, but these women were, they were trying to hide them. So somehow the name got out there, and Malika Andrews, of course, was like, well, I don't think it's right that they be named. And of course, during that interview, she told Stephen A. Smith to stop it. And he was like, nah, you don't get to come on my show and tell me to stop it. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that, trying to say anything bad about the women, but he's saying, I think that since M.A. is out there, he was cheating or whatever, whoever he was cheating with should also be named. And I agree, right? But again, it was so many women that they had coming out. I don't even know who it was, but I guess it ultimately it was a white woman, or one of them was a white woman. I don't know. But like you said too, had it been a whole bunch of Black women, they'd have been all up under their clothes. You know what I mean? And Nia Long actually did an interview with People Magazine a couple of days ago, and she says, even to this day, the Boston Celtics didn't even reach out to her or her family to see how she was doing, if she was all right, after they made that public, when they really didn't have to make that public, but they did. And so she says nobody said to her, hey, are you good? Or any of that kind of stuff. Sounds like now she's moving back to Los Angeles. So I don't know what that means, but I think that's the day and late age that we're living in, that if you as a man are in an affair with a woman and you're a public figure, especially if you're a Black man and you were a white woman, they want to demonize the Black man, but she didn't say anything about he forced her. In the pictures, they were lovey-dovey, booed up. And so, but watch, I guarantee you, to save her own little pasty hide, she is going to probably start turning on, and all that other stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, and again, this whole thing, the feminism, whatever you want to call it, Demetra and I have been saying for months, if not years, Black men and Black women, we need each other. We got to stop the BS. Brothers, we need to get back with our families and raise our children and be with our women, because example after example, as a young man that I am, I'm 52 years old. At 52 years old, I have yet to see an example that when we go out of our parameter, it's very rare. I mean, I'm sure there's some great relationships. Sidney Poitier had a great relationship. A lot of sports stars have great relationships. But here's the thing, though. Those people have money. Money makes the world go round, and it makes your relationships a little bit easier. But for the average person like myself, when we go outside, I'm not saying you love who you want to love. I'm not telling you not to love who you want to love. But if you're seeing what I'm seeing in real time on this earth, not the alternate earth and the infinite alternate earth in the Marvel universe, I'm talking about this earth. Every time you go outside of that parameters as Black men, we are being punished financially and emotionally, even within the system of our own women. And I'm not blaming the women, doing what they need to do to survive. Child support is something that men, you are supposed to pay if you're going to bring a child in the world and you don't want to be with that woman. But the point is, the examples are out there. Is this something that you really want to go through in regards, because you can't control your sexual desires and urges and all that other stuff? So we really got to get that to community among ourselves, because we have a lot of problems out there in regards to homelessness, addictions, health, all these other things. And in my opinion, we're not making it. But I have yet to see an example where they are not universally trying to destroy Black men on all levels of our existence: entertainment, banking, financing, sports, acting, whatever it is. They are doing everything to show you that white supremacy shall prevail. And if you mess with our Becky or our Karen, we are going to bring you down.
You said a mouthful, brother. All right, so let's move right along. I actually want to talk about something else as well. So we'll see if we can fit it all up in here. All right, so give me a second. 1 second. All right, so if y'all can see here, this man, Doug Weisenberg, okay? Can y'all see the whole thing, or is it, you can see the whole thing?
Everything up to 2.
All right, let me see if I can readjust it. Hold up. Right. 1 second. Maybe I need to move it up. Did that work? Let's see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost the whole thing. Like I said, the banner's cutting off the bottom.
All right, I'll read it to you. So here it goes. Sorry if I'm freezing up again. So it says, just for your information, I've dated a lot of Black women, and I could say this. Number one, the amount of deep-seated hatred some Black women have for Black men is astounding. Number two, all of the Black women I've dated in one way or another tone down their Blackness for me. Donovan, what do you say about that? Is he telling the truth? Is he lying? Like, I think he's lying on Black women.
Well, I would say this. In his experience, I can't say he's lying if that's his experience, but I'm going to say this as a Black man, okay? He's coming from the white perspective. I'm going to agree with him, because there's a lot of vitriol within our community with our Black women against Black men. And I say that to say this. Demetra, you were raised with your father. You love your father with a passion, These new generation of young women that have started coming up, a good majority of them were not raised with the father in the home. I'm not saying they don't know their fathers, but a lot of them didn't have their fathers in the home. So there's nobody correcting them. There's nobody really giving them a man's perspective of what to look for, whatever the deal is. And some of these women, unfortunately, young girls, were told a story about their father that might not really be true. And it's coming out now that there's women out there, not all the women, that will blacken their children's mind just so that they could stay in the light. Mama could do no wrong. And that's really, really big with Black men. Mama could do no wrong no matter what she does. So I'm going to have to agree with that. But again, a lot of this hate toward Black men is coming from the older women that are teaching the younger women because their relationships didn't work out. How many times have I told you I run across women that say, oh, men ain't this or that, all because they saw a movie. They saw What's Love Got to Do with It, and all of a sudden, all Black men are Ike Turners. They saw The Color Purple, all Black men are Mr. This is all by design.
I find this to be interesting because, of course, we've heard it the other way around too, but let's deal with this here. And sorry again if I'm freezing up, but I think y'all can hear me just fine. So he says, just for your information, I've dated a lot of Black women, and I can say this. The amount of deep-seated hatred some Black women have for Black men is astounding. I guess I'd have to take him at his word that and he said some Black women, and I imagine the ones that he dated have a deep-rooted hatred for Black men. And I guess I would need to know why. What did they say to him? What was the reason? Like, I think most times somebody say they hate something, they could at least say why. Like if you ask me if I like okra, and I say, no, I hate it. And I do. I really hate okra. You say, why? It's slimy. It's slimy. I'm a texture person. I don't like no sliminess in my mouth. I'm being clean. I don't like that. I don't like slimy stuff in my mouth. So I don't like, but I could tell you why, though, right? I could tell you why I don't like it. So I'm just imagining if they told him why, like, and I'm not saying the reason that they're giving. So, because I know somebody gonna be in the comment section, Demetra always, I'm not saying the reason that the women gave him are valid. I'm saying, did they say, oh, I hate Black men because of my daddy or because of our past relationship? Like, I'd be interested in knowing what they said the reason was. Okay, that's just me. I don't know.
Candace Owens, maybe? No, go ahead.
What was that?
Candace Owens, maybe? We can maybe ask her what's her...
Well, she got a Black daddy, so I don't know. I don't know. And then too, it says all of the Black women I dated in one way or another toned down their Blackness for me. Now, that is something that I've actually heard.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah, I've heard that being the accusation of Black women, more so Black men. I haven't heard other races say that about Black men, but I have heard other races say that about Black women. And then we've kind of seen it too. Like if we see Black women that date outside of the race with other men, we do see them kind of, I don't even know what, like, how do you, I guess I'm kind of confused. Like, how do you tone down your Blackness? Does it like totally gag me with a pitchfork? Oh my God.
Well, I think they're not as assertive, not as, aggressive.
But let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. Does being aggressive and assertive, is that an attribute of Blackness, especially when it comes to Black women?
Well, I think it's a small part of it. Every group has it. You got to be assertive in some way. But what I'm saying is, in our community, with absentee fatherism going on in our community, which is a epidemic, women have to be more assertive than what would be normal. So if you take that assertiveness and you decide to date a white man into a white culture, they're not going to tolerate that. So I could see where a lot of women will downshift, gear shift to be a little bit less.
But again, what is he defining as Blackness? That's what I need to know. Like, can we truly define that? Because when I hear somebody say she, toned down, a Black woman toned down her Blackness for me, and I hear what you're saying. So does it mean, like you said, she was aggressive, or because Black women, we do have our own little special way of behaving. Like some people say Black women are loud. I don't take offense to people saying Black women are loud, because we are loud. Shit, I'm loud. People tell me I'm loud all the time, but I'm not loud because I'm trying to be abrasive. I just talk loud. And I've actually, my great grandmother had a very heavy, loud voice like me, right? I guess I was born to do it. But that's what a lot of times Black women are accused of being loud or ghetto, or so I don't know. What does he mean by tone down the blackness? And I would say this for any black woman that's dated a white man or whoever other than a black man, did you tone down your blackness? And what does that mean exactly? Did you say, like, ordinarily, if you're dating a brother, you eat chitlins, but then when you with this white man, you're like, oh no, I can never, never. I mean, like, what does that mean? So I would need to know more. I'm not saying that he didn't experience that and that there are not women who do that, but I need to know what was the reason and how did he deem those women toning down their blackness? Did they wear a wig?
Well, you know,
what?
Right. Well, did you remember that video you did months ago where the black girl was in a car with her zaddy, what they call white guy or whatever? And remember, she was like, had her like real bad weave on and they're in the car and she's just talking bad about black people and stuff like that. That would be the prototypical ignorant within our community that I would go with when I say, because a person who really knows themselves, they wouldn't be doing what that young lady was doing. But a lot of these young women do that. And see, I really want to know what happened to that young woman, if she's still with her zaddy to this day. But let's reverse it a little bit. And let's talk about the men. Why is it seems that black men, when they get with white women, they are a little bit more tolerant of shenanigans that white women pull. In my experience and what I've seen, when white women pull, let's say, some shenanigans that a black woman would pull, a black man is not quick to anger. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm saying that right word, but no, he's a little bit more tolerant of her shenanigans. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I just think it's something in our culture where it's almost like when we say, you know, it's like we were raised. If it's white, it's better. You know, a lot of our parents sent us to private schools with the white kids. A lot of us were traumatized. Our generation, we were traumatized being bussed into situations where we shouldn't be bussed, but our parents didn't know any better, right? Because they thought if you go to school with white kids, it's better. And that thinking, to me, it prevalates in our culture till this very day where we think, well, if I get a white man or if I get a white woman, oh, I'm better. I'm better. It's a better situation for me. And we know, I'm not saying it's not better for you, but I'm just saying in general to think like that is very ignorant.
Oh no, it definitely is very ignorant because of course, y'all know I was never sent to school with the premise of, oh, you know, going to this white school was better. I've gone to white schools before, but most of the schools I've gone to was kind of a mixture of everybody, if you will. But no, I was never raised with that, and I surely was not raised to think that a white woman or, you know, a white man would be an optimal choice for, you know, in my case, a white man. It's like, you know, I was never raised to think that, although I do know, and I do hear of sisters, if you want to call them that, that say stuff like that. Oh, you know, get you a white man. I mean, I've heard, you know, people I know say, oh, get you a white man.
We divesting.
Now, I don't know who this we is, okay? I'm gonna roll it till the wheels fall off. I just am, you know what I mean? So no, I've never one of those ones that think it's better to go get you a white man, because for one thing, I just don't see we have anything in common. I just don't see what we would have in common. Nothing. We don't say, because one thing D gonna be is D. I'm not gonna sit up and, you know, I kind of like imagine myself, right? I'm sitting at the table at their Thanksgiving dinner. They got the nasty ass green bean casserole and the potpourri stuffing with the cranberries and all that stuff.
Sitting in the
all of that. We sitting there and they're like, you know, we get to talking about, I don't know, some politics or something. They say, so what do you think about Joe Biden or whatever the case is? And I'm like, well, I think
no, I'm Trump all the way. You know, Trump talks to the American people. He talks to the American people.
And that's fine. But if they ask me, I'm like, well, you know, he's done absolutely enough for black people. He's been in the office for 50 years and he's a big time racist. I could see myself sitting at the table having that conversation and them all kicking themselves under the table, like, do not bring her back here. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to sit up there and say, oh my God, you know, I just think he's so wonderful. And I just love what he's doing. Him and Kamala. No, I ain't going to be doing all that. So and then, you know, if I bring some to Thanksgiving dinner or whatever, you probably ain't going to like it because it got a little bit too much seasoning for you. So I wouldn't want to put myself through that. So I've never imagined myself being with anybody else other than a black man. Like I want to be with somebody I have something in common with. Now I know I'm being silly about Thanksgiving dinner, but for real, I'm being serious about that too. But
Mhm.
it's just like, nah, I never thought that they were better. Another thing too is
Yeah.
no shade to white people. I got some white, homies or whatever the case is, where how you want to say it. Like, I'm 51. White man at 51 look like he's 71. So I'm just saying, they be talking about what's that you're using? Oh, shea butter? Oh, I never even put lotion on before. You put it on your face? Yeah, that's why your ass is wrinkled like that, because you ain't been wearing lotion.
Yeah, I'm going to cut you off, but it reminds me of that episode of Good Times. Remember when the building superintendent, the white guy, came down when Michael wrote a protest letter, and he got caught in the building because the warlords there was a gang fight at the bottom of it, so he had to stay with the Evans, and they were like giving him food, and he was like, "Oh," and he was trying to talk all soulish and stuff. And then the minute the gang fight was over, and then he was about to eat, he's like, "Oh, gotta go," and
right,
out the door.
Exactly. So no, I never thought that. I just think it would be awkward, to even be like, I couldn't even imagine being in the bed with some. Listen, I'm just telling y'all my truth, okay? I'm not. The white dudes is for somebody else. They just ain't for me. I couldn't imagine being in bed with nobody with a white dude. I just couldn't. It would just be. I would.
Demetra K, because I know a lot of the people are watching right now. Your last relationship was with a white guy or a DeBarge. It was that or a DeBarge.
You a goddamn lie. Okay? You a goddamn lie.
I mean, it was either that or DeBarge. That brother was pretty light, good looking.
He was light skinned.
Okay.
Now let's just get us a lot to kick it. Okay. Shit. Got me on here cussing. Because I know somebody will say, "Oh, Demetra K was with a white man." It's like,
yeah, no. Al's all brother. He's all brother. But I'm just speaking.
I've said this a lot. This is me being a little too transparent. Okay, but I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I don't want nothing pink. I don't want nothing pink. I don't want to whip back the covers and they're just glowing in the dark.
Right. So let me get this straight. Let's say there's a man who is interested in you. Okay. And we're on the dating game. Remember when Michael Jackson was on the dating game? You can't see who he is. And he's articulate. He seems to have his stuff together. Answers the questions right. And now it comes down to picking the dude. Just based on his answers. Come to find out it's a white guy. What would be your reaction at that point?
Who the hell told y'all to put a white man on my panel? Didn't I tell y'all in the questionnaire that I don't want mayonnaise like that? Didn't I tell y'all that? Like, how y'all get this wrong? Okay? Did y'all see the symbol? Did y'all see me put the the raccoon with the circle around it? Like I ain't on that page on my questionnaire. I mean, I would say he sounds very nice, but he ain't nice for me. Y'all got
Would you consider dating a white guy if he asked you out for a cup of coffee?
No. Y'all remember that Bugs Bunny meme? No. No. Like, I would not. Listen, I've had white guys that like me. And some of them still do, right? I mean, they be coming in my inbox and stuff. I don't even respond, but no, I've never had the flavor for no white man. I just never have. No.
Okay, well, you know what? For everybody listening, I could co-sign. And on my 30 plus years of knowing Demetra, she has a lot of white friends that she knows, but she, to my knowledge, has never dated a Caucasian man or a man that would be seen non-black.
And no shade to them, they just ain't for me. And they're not. So anyway, plus it'll kill my daddy, and my daddy will kill me. All right, so moving right along.
Wait, and you just hit on something very important. You guys notice she said it would kill her daddy. Her daddy is in her life, which is influential in the back of her mind of how she views black men. That's why it's so brothers, our families, especially our daughters, and damn sure our damn sons, but our daughters, because they keep making the same mistakes, picking the same type of dude and expecting a different result. So let's get back in there, fellas.
That's right. I love my daddy and I love me some brothers. I really do. All right, so here, this is next thing is coming up, and I want your opinion, Donovan. And I'll probably try to freeze up a tiny bit. I figured out what it was. I don't know. It's not me. Anyway, I'm going to put this up here. So I want your opinion of this. Okay, I want you to look. I want everybody to look closely at the things in this photo, and then I want your opinion, Donovan. Here we go. So it says, this generation of women summed up in one picture. Look at it for just a second. Just let it take in everything that's in there, everybody, just for a second. You ready to give me an opinion of what you see? Okay, go ahead.
Keyword, this generation of women. Okay, I want to clarify that first. Like I said, I have a new show called Critical Thinking. Part of critical thinking is reading. You got to read it and comprehend it. This generation of women, not Demetra's generation, not my mama's generation, and the generations before that. This picture of the modern woman is facts.
All right, so I see a woman in the picture, in the back. She's taking a picture of her behind and morals. I guess she ain't got none because it got a circle around it, like no morals. And then she's on vacation with her homegirls. And then this dude up in the picture looked like he in prison because he's on the phone. He got the orange jumpsuit on. And then, of course, somebody is administering likes and stuff from Facebook. And so I guess she is pandering, for the likes. Because of how she's dressed and, kind of looks like a dog. So that's kind of what a dog does. They kind of pant for treats. Of course, she's got some makeup there and some booze. Look like she got a cigar on top of the cognac. I guess that's what it's supposed to be. What else she's got? She got a needle, so she's doing drugs, I guess. And I don't know what this thing is down here. Maybe it's a teeth whitener. And then, of course, she's vegan. But then she got a bucket of chicken there. So I'm assuming that means that she's lying to kick it. And then the tennis shoe, I'm not sure if that's a designer shoe, but she's definitely got some designer stuff there. So there's a lot of things going on. And so I guess this picture is saying this is the generation of women, this generation of women on, I don't know, this is what the image that they're putting forth out there. Doesn't sound like that this particular woman has anything else of value to offer. Of course, her buttocks, she's got some weed on there, and it looks like she's had a BBL. So I guess that's this picture saying this generation is women is that. So when I saw this, I was like, yeah, I've seen that. I'll be honest with you, when I'm on Instagram, I don't follow a lot of people, women, I should say, and some dudes too, but women that I thought were fitness, they were in the fitness, but then when I'm scrolling up my timeline, I'm looking in the crack of their behind because they bending over doing squats. And I'm like, nah, you didn't have to be doing all of that to show me the move, right? So I'm like, okay, I see what you on. You catfishing, doing all that. So I'll delete them. So I've seen that. But then when I saw this picture, I'm like, okay, true indeed. That, and then look, she ain't got no goals either. Goals are trash, right? That's what the thing is saying there. I saw it. I said, yeah, there's women who do that on the internet. But then I'm like, these are the women that get the most attention. Because I see a lot of women that are natural. They dress modestly on the internet. They not doing all of that. Her pictures or whatever, let's say, going to this likes thing, she may get some likes and stuff. But if she's doing this kind of stuff, women who do this kind of stuff, I mean, it's likes out of control. It's likes everywhere in these comments. Oh, you're fine. This, that, the other. But the women who are naturally beautiful and just, not doing too much. She's, maybe she's saying something poetic on there or whatever. She don't get that many likes. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not saying that's anybody's fault. I'm not even saying the likes are coming from men. I'm just saying that even with women, they tend to like this kind of content, I would say. But there are many more women, I would say. I don't think this is most women in this generation. I don't. I think that's some women. I think there are more women who are a little bit on the modest side. And like, I ain't got to be doing all that. I don't care if you like this picture or not. I'll put it up there. If you like it, it's great. Because I know of people, if they don't get a certain amount of likes, and this is men too, they don't get a certain amount of likes on their photos, they take them down. Because, I should be getting this amount of likes and stuff. And most people, when they put it up, it's like, well, if one person like it, I guess, but I'm just putting it up there so you can see what it did today or whatever. So I would say this does not sum up this generation of women. I think there are some women in this generation that behave like this, but I wouldn't say, I have to say, if I had to describe this generation of women, I would not say, oh yeah, they're trash from what I can see with this picture. I wouldn't say that. I would say this type of woman here is the type of woman that gets the attention. The dude in the picture, that's hilarious. The prison prison babe back there.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, and here's what the internet has done. And Kevin Samuels talked about this, and a couple of weeks ago, I believe the Crimson Cure talked about it. What's her name? Sheila Davis, whatever her name is. Kendra Davis. Kendra Davis talked about this as well. When you're in your neighborhood, remember you always had the girls, like you, when we were growing up, you had your little clique of girls, and, guys were like, hey, oh, she looks cute. We kind of checking you out, whatever. What the internet has done has now expanded that to where you got guys from Dubai and all over the world that are clicking the like thing, to where the girl that in our neighborhood would be a 5. Now she's like an 8 or a 9 because the internet basically is telling her that. And Kevin Samuels talked about that, as well as Crimson Cure talked about it, in regards to how these women now are rating themselves a 10 when they're really not, and then their expectations. So like a good example, like Demetra, if you came back to the neighborhood and we see you, okay, yeah, you're still an 8, you're always got yourself together, whatever, and you're still attractive and doing all this other stuff. But back in the day, yeah, you're going to get some likes, but not everybody's going to be thirsting after you. And what this has done is it's really inflated the ego of a lot of these young girls, to where when they do get in relationships, in my opinion, they get disappointed because they're thinking in their minds, hey, I'm an 8, I'm a 9, I'm a 10, when you're really a 4. But if you guys get a chance, check out the Crimson Cure. She explained it a little bit better from a woman's perspective, and it really made sense to me.
First of all, boo-boo, you said I'm an 8, I'm a 10.
You can't rate yourself. It's what we rate you.
Maybe an 11, okay? The F. I'm just playing, but for real. So yeah, I mean, I just think, yeah, those women are not the sum of this generation. That they are some, but not the total sum of the generation of women. All right, you ready for this? You ready for this game? All right, y'all know we play.
Let's do it, because I give game all day long.
We're playing tonight's conversation. It's the perfect date night questions. This is how it looks. And there's a whole bunch more. This thing, a particular series, they have a whole bunch of other types of game, not just date night. So, all right, you ready for this? I'm gonna ask 3 questions. Donovan's got to answer, and so do I. And we're gonna answer as honestly as we can. I think that's the best thing. Okay. Who hurt you? What have you done to heal?
God, that's a kind of a really robust question. In my relationship, I've had several relationships, and a lot of the relationships I was hurt in the relationship. But let's just start with the first one.
Oh shit! Let me go ahead and give.
No, I'm just going to give one example of what really hurt.
I'm just playing. Go ahead, take your time.
Yeah, I'm a young man. I'm coming into it. I'm dating this older woman, right? And people that know me, they kind of know the story. This is the same woman that put me on the path of knowledge, so I did get something out of it. But at the same point there's an old saying, when your nose is open. So the woman opens my nose. I mean, I could do no wrong. I'm following her. Whatever she tells me to do, I'm doing it. The problem was, I was really in love with her. It was my first adult real relationship. The woman was good for me. We were good for each other. It was no problem. But the problem was, she kept moving the goalposts. For every achievement that she wanted me to do, hurdle, I passed the hurdle and I kept going, right? And then, the base closes, and of course, we're both in the military. She gets stationed in another place. I get stationed in another place. I'm a little older now after being in a relationship with her for over 4 years. And it was a waste of time, basically. And I was hurt because the relationship didn't really go anywhere because she kept moving the goalposts. So that was my truth.
What did you do to heal?
I just went on with life. There's really not much you can do to heal. A broken heart will mend, but it will never heal. I don't believe that it will ever heal, because even to this day, I have her picture and stuff, and people that are influential in my life. And I always tell people that was the woman that put my feet on the steps of knowledge. She started that path, and I'm never going to take that away from her. But have I really healed from that? No, I don't think I have, for the simple fact that I take that precautionary tale into my new relationships, and I look at that to when a girl's is gonna move goalposts and stuff like that. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I do take that as a precautionary tale. I wasted 5 years of my life following this woman, thinking I'm doing the right thing, and it really was not good enough in her mind.
As you were sitting there talking, and I thought about the question, who hurt you? I really could go on and on and on. I've been hurt a lot, but then a little devil, or I think it might have been an angel, because the devil would have told me to just lie to kick it. But the angel was more or less like, you know what? You need to take accountability for your own feelings and your own emotions. So I would say I hurt me. Now, I didn't intentionally hurt me, but I would say that I hurt me because it's like a lot of times we see things, we hear things. And if I'm speaking in relationships, because we've been hurt not by people we haven't been in relationships, right? Like, it could be parents, it could be a whole bunch of people. I would say that I participated a lot in that, especially when it came to relationships, because I saw things and I was like, now in hindsight, I'm like, now damn well you had no business hanging out with him. You had no business, not none. Like none. But so there was things I could have done to say, that ain't even no red flag. That's a burgundy flag. That flag is purple. But sometimes we do things to try to explain in a way. Well, he is cute, and maybe, I don't know, I'm gonna give him another shot and see. Maybe it was just a fluke. Maybe he's, having a moment. But so I would say me, but I want to give y'all a story though, okay? Now, because I don't have to pertain to relationships. So when I was in 11th grade, I had this teacher named Mr. Piper. He was a black man, and he was a raccoon, I should say. 11th grade history class. So I sat in the front, and I was next to this Hispanic girl. I took a test, got the test back. This mother sucker gave me a D. I'm like, okay, well, I thought I studied, whatever, it happens. And so I was talking to the Hispanic girl that was next to me. So we were comparing tests. He gave her a B. And I did better than her. I answered more questions right than she did. I'm like, wait a minute. What is going on here? So, of course, Mr. Piper, I just compared tests with her, and her scores are not her answers not as good as mine, but you gave me a D and you gave her a B. He looks at me. He says, can you come outside with me? So I go outside with him. He says, you know why I gave you a D? I'll never forget it. Never. You know why I gave you a D? And I'm like, nah, it's because you're black. It's because you're black, and you're going to have to work harder than everybody else. And so I'm flabbergasted. I'm just so taken aback, because I'm like, this mother, he admitting that he gave me a bad grade. He admitting that he did this to me. And not only did he like he's blue-black. This man is blue-black. Then I found out he was married to a white woman too. So I was like, okay, in hindsight, like, okay, I get it. It makes sense now. He just didn't like black people. He didn't even like his own black ass. And that's how hateful he was. And so he did not change the grade. I didn't tell my parents because I don't know. I think I was just so, like, I don't think I've ever had that. I've had racism happen to me from other people. And I don't want to call it racism from him because he's black, but it was such self-hate. I didn't know what to do. And so I just took the D and just, kept pushing. But years and years and years and years and years later, I always said if I ever ran into Mr. Piper, oh my God, I'm going to give him the business. I'm going to let him know I'm going to give him business. So then one day I typed in his name. It was like a couple years ago. I typed in his name And I found out he had, no, actually, I'm on this website for our school, our high school. And I happened to ask about Mr. Piper. I said, anybody seen Mr. Piper? Because I'm still looking for him, you know? And they said, oh, Mr. Piper died. I'm like, damn, he died. So I went and looked online to see when he died and all that. And I saw his obituary. You know how you can write online, oh, I'm sorry, he died. I'm healed now, but I wasn't healed then. On his obituary, I said, yeah, Mr. Piper, I had him in the 11th grade and he did this to me and he has so much self-hate, he didn't like black people. And I sent it. And so I'm like, whoever will see that, probably his family, they're going to be like, oh my God. So now that I'm a healed, I ain't gonna lie to kick it, I do it again. I would do it again. That was 11th grade, 1987. I was carrying that around for so long, but once I typed all that out, because I'm telling you, I was looking for that man in the streets. Once I typed that out, I got that off my chest. I was like, not good. Now they know what kind of they probably knew, but I want y'all to know from a black woman's point of view what he did to me as a child. So he hurt me. He was one of the people, and I got some get back on his ass from the grave, nigga, from the grave. All right, let me calm down because I'm getting a little too excited. All right. This is going to be, I'm going to tell you right now, you better tread lightly. What's your honest opinion about me?
Wow. Thank you guys for joining the show today. We're going to... Oh, man, that is a very complex question. I'm going to say it's complex.
Keep it real. Keep it real.
Keep it real. What I say is throwback type of a woman, being that you have a lot of traits that you picked up from your mother, which are great traits. But unfortunately, as we know, as younger people, what worked in the 60s doesn't always necessarily work in the 80s, and you're too trusting. You're too, you have those really great traits that just don't, I'm not saying you're naive. I'm not saying that, because you're definitely not naive. It's just that you are just too old school to where you've got these new fluff guys coming around running these games on you that unfortunately, you can't see. And that's why, like when we talk, it's very important to bring people around your family and things and do those things. So they can vet these people. You have an opinion, you have a way of doing things, that's your way. And what I'm saying is, you're not a bad person, but sometimes you need to listen rather than, gonna just do it your way no matter what. You know what I mean? Sometimes, because sometimes what we do doesn't work for us, and we keep doing the same old thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And sometimes you just got to let it go and say, you know what? I'm going to listen to this person and try something different, because maybe what I'm not seeing is not, what I can't see. So, but all in all, you're a good person. You're a loving person. You love hard, which is another thing you really can't do in the modern age. You love hard, and then you're very sensitive.
My turn. Okay, well, I feel that Donovan is.
That's right. What the problem is.
But I purposely went on mute. Okay, for real. Okay, my honest opinion of Donovan is, and I was actually telling somebody about this the other day. I won't tell you who. Donovan is a very sweet guy. He has a great heart. Donovan would do almost anything for you. I want to put, and I say that about Donovan a lot. Donovan, you would do just about anything for people. You love people. I know sometimes y'all don't think that he does, but Donovan does have a love for people. I know Donovan to help people I want to say to the detriment of himself, but he does go out on a limb and help people. I know Donovan to see homeless women and go buy them tents and take care of them. You know, he does that. I know Donovan to bring people into his home, so he's got a great heart. Now, I ain't telling y'all anything I ain't said about Donovan to his face. I think Donovan is too hard on women. I think he's too hard on women. And I think that, you know, their expectations of women sometimes it's just like, damn, well, do they even make that type of woman? Does she exist? You know? So I always tell them, I think you need to lighten up, loosen up and say, she ain't perfect, but she perfect for me. Now, you know, I know Donovan, he wants some, you know, supermodel falling off the runway with the yaki all the way down their feet and no stretch marks and, as he say, bullet wounds in their booty. And none of that kind of stuff. He want them tight like they was 18. But that woman in your age she probably don't exist no more. You know, she didn't have some kids. So I say that Donovan is too hard on women. And I also say my honest opinion about Donovan, he alluded to it not too long ago, is that he needs to learn to heal from some of the things that has happened to him, not just in relationships, but, you know, as a child. And we all do. But I've told Donovan that before. You like go talk to somebody and let some of that stuff go, so that woman that's really for you can come in and say, "That's my man. He ain't tripping. He cool. He ain't too hard on me. You know." So that's my honest opinion of Donovan. Now the other stuff I want to.
You are on one today.
All right, last question. I was muted, y'all. All right. Tell me something I'd be surprised to know about you.
Something you would be surprised to know about me. I don't think I can say that on the air. No, I don't think. I don't know that. That's a really good question, because I'm pretty much my personality. Because I'm an A personality. What I put out there is what I am. So I don't really hide any punches. Let's see. What is it that you don't know about me? Wow. Other than that's a tough question. Really, everything about me is out there in regards to being out there, other than like my deep family history or something like that. But I'm an A personality person, and I present myself the way I am, which is another reason why I think a lot of women don't deal with me like that, because I don't know if women are just used to guys lying to them and just telling them, you know, all this BS, and then they find it out and they love the drama. Whereas me, I'm like, boom, 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 boom. That's it. And then when they find out that everything that I said is true, they're like, oh, you know, oh my God, this guy really does have this, or he really does do this, or he really does do that. So about me, that I'm an open book pretty much. At this stage in my game, I don't have no reason to front. So
You'd be surprised to know about me is I used to be a stripper. I'm kidding, of course. I'm joking, okay? I ain't there. I want to say I'm joking. Don't nobody take this and say Demetra K. Oh, she said she was a stripper. I'm joking. Okay, no, you know, I'm an open book, I would say. That's so I struggle with what would you be surprised to know about me? I tell y'all a lot of stuff about me, so there's not really any surprises, but I don't know. I struggle with that. Deanna, maybe my daughter would know, because I think I'm pretty open. We have a question on here really quick. What would they be surprised to know about me? Let me put it on mute in case it's something I don't want y'all to know. Hold on a second. She's thinking. She's thinking. See, I'm pretty open book, so I don't know if you would be surprised to know anything about me. I don't know. I mean, She said you'd be surprised to know that I'm actually boring.
All you do is watch documentaries.
Oh, y'all might be surprised. She says all I do is watch documentaries. You might be surprised to know that I listen to gospel. And oh, my daughter, if she ever releases any of this stuff, I will come from the grave and I will kill.
Don't let you blow up because
she takes all these videos of me that I don't know she's taking while I'm dancing or acting crazy, and she's like, "I'm gonna save these. They'll come in handy one day." But I don't. You wouldn't be surprised to know anything about me at all. I'm open book. So anyway, that's all we have. We ain't got no more. Donovan, what say you before we get out of here?
I want to say, you guys, tune in Sunday, 3 p.m. Central Pacific Standard Time for the Demetra K Show. And also check out my new podcast called Critical Thinking. Very, very important. And also, holiday madness is upon us. I know, ladies, you want your children to have a great Christmas, but I think it's more important that they have a roof over their head.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. So anyway, y'all, we're going to get out of here. See y'all tomorrow. Wealth Wednesdays with Walter, where I don't know, we'll talk about, he probably want to talk about the Deion Sanders thing or some other stuff. I don't know, something else transpires. We will talk about that. But of course, we have PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Become a member, like the video, subscribe, and all that. Every little bit helps. I want to say thank you to the members and everybody who is here faithfully helping. Thank you, Donovan, and everybody, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, now the podcast. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. So we'll see y'all tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Time for Wealth Wednesdays with Walter. Peace.